Yeah, yo. Woke up in the morning and to God be the glory. Thankful for another day to tell my story. Put my opinions in the universe and let them orbit. I'm from the dirty south with a dirty mouth, might need orbit. Miss things on me like a nigga Norbit. Had to refuse them cause my bitch no Resfusion, she gorgeous. As I dap my sons up and kiss my daughter forehead. Tell them we gon' get this money till my pockets morbid. Remember living in apartments, now we playing mortgage.
Alright, Big Cat. What episode is this? I don't never know the damn episodes no more. I used to be on top of that shit.
92?
No.
93?
No.
94.
No. 92 solo, 93 Monoleo, 94 solo. This is episode 90. Grits and X podcast. Welcome to episode 95 of the Grits and X podcast.
Ooh.
You may have seen her in a parking lot. Pimping, nigga. You hear what I mean? I've been on her show 3 times at this point.
11.
Yeah, plenty of times on Revolt TV. Let me have any. Round of applause, everybody. It ain't enough people in here for a round of applause. What's going on? That shit was weak. They don't fuck with you for real. Damn, they not excited to see you at all.
That's crazy. I'm okay.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. How's things been going? You got the season finale coming up?
Season finale is on the way. You gonna come?
I am.
Oh, great. Lovely. Season finale is on the way. I had to pull some teeth to get them to try it live. You know, I'm super into experimenting with different formulas or, I don't know, just structures. And the biggest feedback I was getting was like, people don't do live no more. I don't give a fuck what people not doing no more. But with everything happening as far as different journalists being silenced or temporarily booted or whatever, what have you, people are trying to find not just independent journalists, but just like people they can trust. But also, who's to say how things are about to go? And I'm really into creating these in-person, like you were saying at your show, creating these in-person, like intimate spaces. It could really be a game changer for the culture to go back to doing a lot of the stuff that we once did. Like the kids say, we missing recipes. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought about it like on a standard. The podcast is like a set, and people just are. It becomes monotonous. Like it's only so many times we're gonna see the same background. Woo. And I think that's good for like brand recognition. It's good for people that watch the show, and it's like I know this. You know what I'm saying? But I think switching it up every now and then, like what we did with the live show, or like you know, what we doing with the late night show, it's just to keep it fresh. We got all these different mediums of media that we ingested as children, like daytime television, late night TV, talk shows. And like, if we got a podcast and we got a platform, why not utilize all those? Just kind of keep it switched up. So ultimately, you got what you wanted, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I got what I wanted.
Studio audience too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be in a live element.
It's going to be... This is a trial run, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I had paused when you said you got what you wanted, because I think just the reality is you never get what you want the first time around, but you work towards it. Yeah. And I'm grateful that they with that. You know, the working towards everything and figuring it out on the way. So
shout out to the good people at Revolt.
For sure.
How is it? So this is, what season? This is the first season?
First season.
Man, so let's go back to like the start of the content creation, right? Let's go back to, because I just know, you know, it's so funny. When everything started popping off, I naturally go to like, what's the end of it? Like, how does the end of it look? Because people overstay their welcome in media spaces. And if it's guest heavy, I guess it can live like that. But I think my shit being so like solo forward, and just Big Cat, like Big Cat is a mystique. You know what I mean? Like he really don't exist to the audience. Like, so it's like he just like the voice of God on the show and shit. So it's like, okay, how long can that formula last? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just good observation just to have an exit plan. And so we was discussing like the Daily Show, right? How they Jon Stewart, he ran that, and then they started experimenting with different guests and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, yeah, but if you was to like replace yourself, who would you fool? And I was like, you know that girl that do the parking lot pimping shit? Her.
And what's crazy is I said the same about you.
That's funny because 2 weeks later, I got this shit from Revolt.
Oh.
And I was like,
well,
what they got going on? They got my phone tapped, girl. They got my phone tapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but because I just seen, I think it's a similar politic. It's a different approach to how we do it, but I think the politic is similar, and I think the end goal being, you know, liberation for Black people. Yeah. And I think that, I don't know what a lot of niggas' end goals is when they be in these spaces.
I did have one. What's crazy enough is it was nothing like what I'm doing now. I'm a poet. Like, that's what I do. So before the pandemic
that makes sense.
So before the pandemic.
I see that. I'm picking out the little Love Jones type vibe.
Please, I don't know about that.
That's the type beat you on?
We'll see. I'm about to release some shit. We'll see how you feel about it after that.
All right, copy.
But right before the pandemic hit, let me rewind a little bit more. I was a high school teacher. I used to teach juniors and seniors in high school and Black studies. I had to teach U.S. history just in order to be licensed in the state of Georgia. But teaching is a thankless job. Like, and it's a exhausting job. It's not a 9 to 5. It's a 16 to 72. Like, you take your work home with you. There's so much red tape, and I just felt so unappreciated for how much I was put into it. Like, especially at the school that I went to in my second year of teaching, I just felt so unappreciated. Really, because nobody was as hard as I went for the kids, as hard as I went for like exposing them to new opportunities and things like that. I have volleyball parents that was quite literally bullying me, and nobody was really doing much about it. Like, they were sending emails to the superintendent simply because they didn't like me, talking to me crazy at games and stuff like that. When I would do like Black History Month programming for the kids, like, I guess because I had the kids excited about something and wanted to be involved, like, other teachers would just kind of talk to me crazy, and principals would just be like, well, you need to make sure, did you like the play? I didn't see it, but you need to make sure this auditorium is clean. Like, what? Like, just crazy shit like that. But so anyways, I decided to stop giving them my 100% because 60% would be enough, and like give 40% at least to the things that I love doing. Because even though I was good at teaching, I enjoyed it, I never wanted to be stuck there. And I was like, if I continue to perpetuate this pattern, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to be miserable. So I started going back to perform at open mics, just trying to get practice at being on stage again. And the first, like, I want to say major gig, but like I submitted a piece and was selected to perform for a Black History Month program happened the day before or the weekend before really Atlanta shut down. So I didn't really have my creative outlet. And I also knew, it's funny because most of the shit that I'm into, people will scroll past, like whether it's poetry, whether it's like history or something like that. Like, I'm very well aware niggas just was not interested in it. And teaching high school helped me connect with people in a different way and just like find entry points to make things interesting and related to whatever it is they had going on. So that was helpful. But really, in trying to figure out how I was going to like scratch that itch because I can't perform or whatever, it was when all the things started happening. You had Ahmaud Arbery, you had Breonna Taylor, you had George Floyd. I'm not sure if I said those in order. Then you had Rayshard Brooks down here in South Atlanta. And like, you could just see the nation like swelling, like with an appetite to have more vocabulary to express their anger and their sadness or whatever for this moment. And it was just one of those things where you like see your life's preparation make you like perfect for a moment. Yeah. So I started the parking lot pimping stuff in response to that, also hoping that at some point I'd be able to introduce my poetry to my audience and like, oh, we fuck with that. And it's not that they didn't fuck with it, but it was just like the parking lot was just going so much further and faster than I thought it would. So I just kind of stuck with that. But so anyway, yeah, that's kind of how it got started. Did I answer a question? Oh. Yeah. You
answered
what you even asked me.
Here's the thing. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You answered a lot of questions that I was going to ask anyway.
Okay,
so
great. Okay, great.
I think that was good though, because it everything did kind of culminate all at once. Similarly, like, I was in my truck and I wasn't seeing a lot of discourse about like things that was actually going on. So when I would come across people that was talking like at least being real about the shit, you know what I mean? And speaking from like an intellectual perspective as well, and not just like reactionary, not just angry, not just like, oh, we need to overthrow the government. It's like, okay, and then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like if we can't get everybody on board or just moving in the same direction, like let your anger guide you to somewhere, then like it's not gonna work. But there's nobody giving anybody anything actionable. There's nobody like detailing the situations in a way where people can really like gain perspective on it. A lot of it is just like, this person got killed and we're angry and we're mad about it and we're gonna protest about it, and then 2 weeks later it'd be a rinse and repeat. I think the thing about the parking lot pimping for me was, this is like news for me. Like, okay, I know on Friday I'm giving me a little weekly wrap up, you know what I'm saying? But it's also like, it's effective because it's to the point, but it's also like very black, you know what I'm saying? And it, you know,
it didn't start out that way.
How did it start?
It didn't start out that way. It started out as me trying to like give these little known like facts.
You're trying to get your history vibe on.
Trying to get my history vibe on, and like people like that, they were attached to that. But I was like, okay, how can I make this sustainable? How can I make it something people are looking forward to week after week? And I just started trying to attach, not even trying to, it was easy, attaching moments that were dominating the headlines and connected to some sort of history. So that's how I started getting into like news cycles and things like that. But I had it was mainly pop culture and only a little bit of politics. And I think it was 2020. So it sort of naturally flowed into all of that, you know, because that's when Georgia flipped blue. We got Biden office after Trump. But as things somehow started to get worse and worse and world events was happening, I just kind of felt like this responsibility, and also not just a responsibility to say something, but also feeling prepared and like well suited to learn about this enough to talk to people about it so they can understand. So it just kind of snowballed into this necessity versus just a hobby or a creative like outlet.
Yeah, because I can imagine you gain an audience quick, rather than it is one of the first forms of content that I saw that were kind of had a set to it, right? A lot of times when TikTok specifically, people talk from the selfie cam, and I think that was what make it real for people. I think that that's what gauges the most interest because it feel like you're on FaceTime, you know what I'm saying? So I would say Instagram being overproduced and then TikTok being not a production at all, you sitting there somewhere in the center, it really just kind of, I could see the appeal of it off the rip, but also like just having like anecdotal facts and things like that at first, because that's like the first year I was on TikTok, I just observed. I ain't even like create no content because I just wanted to see like what the landscape was. A lot of my partners was telling me like, bro, this shit you be talking about on the phone, you could just go do your thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody else saying what you saying. But I was just like, nah, fuck that. Like, I don't understand what they doing over there. And then, like, the way it's sold to me, and it's like, it's an app for kids that dance.
Oh,
and I was like,
kind of what it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Very beginning.
Yeah. And so that's what I was like, nigga, I don't dance. Never get on there and do no dancing. So when the longer I was on there, I think Consciously was probably one of the first people I saw on there that was like having these conversations about current events, and then intelligent enough to tie it into historical events, but also speaking from a perspective that I felt like was original and refreshing. But there was also a thing where I didn't feel like anybody was talking directly to Black people. So I think that was the appeal for yours. For me, it's just like, I'm gonna keep it Black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. Yeah, this message can be for everybody, but I'm speaking directly to my folks. And I think to me, it was like, very understood, like, this shit finna be bigger than just that parking lot. Like, I could just see it because you was having like some real moments, like, that shit, you killing it. You still killing it, you know what I'm saying? But
I appreciate it.
But it was really big. It was a thing that I could see how people was looking forward to it every Friday type shit. So how does this like manifest into the People's Brief?
I would say maybe a year in. Very grateful to my alma mater, Spelman. It gave me so many connections. And I was actually on a dance line there, and they treat it like a sorority in that it's a sisterhood, and you just kind of know who came before you, who's after you. You stay in community. And so the year that I danced, I was on a line with this girl whose big sister was our old head, and she happened to be in entertainment management like already by the time I started doing my stuff. So she just kind of like sent me a congrats here and there as things were popping, as like celebrities started posting my shit. Like that's kind of more often than not, people closer to me saw me because somebody else posted me. And I just, I keep that in the back of my mind for anybody who's wanting advice. Like your immediate circle is not ever necessarily going to be your is not ever going to be your target audience. But anyways, so she had already knew what I was doing and just had given me my flowers from a distance. But her boss was Issa Rae's partner over at Color Creative, and they were managing multi-hyphenate creators. So just creators who were good at more than one thing. And so she ended up sending my old head the video and was like, who is this girl? We want her. And that's how I got signed over there. And ever since I got their management or their representation, we started like testing out show ideas. And I've been pitching shows for essentially like 3 to 4 years. And it's crazy because, we finally got some good partners, people that made sense. And the shows we were pitching, people were like, oh, this is cool, but we feel like it's a little too high concept, or this is great, you're great, but this is too smart for us. And like, oh, we think it's really cool. I just don't think the market is ready to embrace this, that, and the other. And it was just frustrating because whether it was scripted or unscripted, more often than not, somebody wanted to pigeonhole me into, no offense, but to me, like a very basic version of what I had the potential to do. I remember pitching this show idea that I still am working on a concept for. And somebody, I'm not going to name no names because I'm not for publicly throwing nobody under the bus, but somebody in a very high respectable position said, oh, this is cool. But if you like come up with a different world, but like 2022, then come holler at us. Right. Got it. Okay, cool. So, never went back to them. With all that said, though, towards the end of last year, I went through a number of things like a breakup, we weren't getting investors from our entrepreneurial endeavors, like with Trump coming into office, the stuff I was doing with nonprofit got shut down because everybody was scared of how to spend their money, not knowing what was going to happen. But I had to just kind of like step on faith. So this was like October, December, I was making decisions to just put stuff down. Like, I'm not going to press nothing else. I'm not going to come up with it because I'm good for an idea and trying to like get some shit off the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, God, like whatever you want from me. Like, you got enough money in my account for me to, live for the next year or so. And I just mean like pay rent and everything, whatever. And then I want to say like right before my birthday came, it's in January. So in the new year, my manager called me. It was like, so Revolt said they want to give you a show. I said, what? But it was one of those moments where you open your hands up, like you make room for whatever, God has to give you. So he's been showing me a lot of like direct cause and effects throughout this year because I'm quite literally just letting him work. But I had a conversation with Revolt maybe 3 to 4 years ago, and they were still in transition, getting he who should not be named up out of there and, no longer affiliating with them.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like when they got all their pieces in their pieces to the puzzle where they wanted it to be, they called me immediately and said, we've been trying to work with you for some time. We just needed it to be at the right time. So
correct. Yeah, that's hard. I think the concepts that you've brought to the People's Brief are very important. I think that they're not spoken of well enough in the public, right? Like people would touch on things, but for example, right? The conversation we had, I think it was the very first time I was there, about athletes and dating white women. And it wasn't just this typical of like, oh, because niggas hate black women. It was like, no, we gave like real context to like how people are removed from their communities. And
the internet might not believe you because a clip from that has been going viral like ever since. Yeah, they've been tearing our co-host for that episode up with this one clip of her, but like quite literally something she said in a silo, because the whole episode, to your point, was trying to create healthy dialogue around a very specific cultural issue. But Twitter found that one clip And now people come to me every now and then saying, lonely, you'll never have a man. Miserable bitch. Whoa.
Oh, you.
Me.
Well, Twitter is an extremely toxic place. I am no longer on Twitter.
Me neither.
Yeah. Like, that whole shit that happened, when I seen how niggas can, like, change the game up over there and manipulate situations to mean what they want it to mean, and it's like, there's only so many characters. You can't really defend yourself. Nobody really watches videos there. So it's like, I was like, you know what? Y'all niggas got it. Yeah, what y'all ain't got to worry about. Me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in the topic of a conversation right now. Me, Poor Minds, Unhinged Tomorrow, and Don't Call Me White Girl podcast are... Who was the publication? Some publication put us out as the 4 black podcasts to watch right now. Hard, you know what I'm saying? Then it was like, they only chose all them because they light skinned. Wow. Okay, well, Drea's not light skinned.
I wouldn't even think about that.
Yeah, it was because we light skinned. And then it was like, this nigga Deontay Kyle got a white daddy. I was like, whoa. Wow. Okay, news. You know what I'm saying? News to me.
Everybody slow down.
Yeah, but it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the thing is, it's like, it's a few things gonna happen, right? They gonna call you a tether, or they gonna call you biracial.
What does that even mean? I left Twitter a long time ago.
Tariq Nasheed. So I had the situation I was telling you about in LA.
Okay.
When we was doing our late night show, the topic of the conversation is it FBA or CIA? That's my question, right?
I'm sorry. You're going to have to walk some things back for me. There's some things I've seen proliferate on the internet that I just ignore because I can tell by the people having a conversation, this don't got nothing to do with me.
Type shit.
So FBA, I understand to be foundational Black American.
Correct.
What does that mean?
Basically that you are the descendant of enslaved people in America.
We had to put a name on that? I thought we had it. It wasn't Black American?
No, because then it's a thing of, well, so this is the tether thing.
Okay.
This is the Tariq Nasheed tether mentality. Tariq Nasheed is like, he's going to juice up that diaspora war. Okay. So if you have a Nigerian grandparent, if you have any relation to anything immigrant status type vibe, like you're a tether. You're not really from America. You're not really a Black American. Okay. When the conversations that I've been having a lot more recently is like, I'm not finna beef with a nigga about one difference, and that difference being place of birth, because the cultures are so like parallel. Also, and what I'm about to say might be unserious, but like, you don't like to eat good? What I was saying, cuz. I literally talk about cuisine all the time.
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, you're not just good for food, but like being around, like I was very close with this girl from Sierra Leone when I graduated college, and she had me over to her spot for her graduation party. Just got like immersed in the culture quite literally because I'm now enlisted in help getting ready for the party that I was told would start at 4:00. Mind you, I'm dressed at 3, dressed to go clean food and like set up stuff because the party starts at 4, meaning that's when people come set up. The party don't pop off until later, but trying all kinds of new foods and learning new dances and hearing them speak whatever it is native to them. It's just a beautiful experience, and like it compounds on hours. Like I wrote this piece a minute ago, and it was called In Every Universe, and it was just me talking about my Black experience. Like I'm from the South. I'd be Southern in every universe if I could. But I love making rice and peas. I taught myself how to cook curry. Like I'm 25% Yoruba, but I love that shit. My last name is French, but I'm not Haitian. But just like talking about how foundational Black Americans, like we're not, just like we're not, what's the word? Exempt from white influence. We're not exempt from the influence of other people who are a part of the diaspora. And why wouldn't you want that to enrich your experience?
Well, I think that there's this thing about like, how do you respond to the criticism of Black Americans not having culture? And it for whatever reason, it lands there. But also too, I'm not big on responding to shit I know it's not true. Okay. So it's like, okay, we don't have a culture. Okay, nigga.
And
Okay.
it's silly to me.
It's goofy. It's just a thing to say.
Okay.
And I think that...
But I think they also don't know. Like, what TikTok revealed to me, at least from what some of the across the pond Negroes had to say, y'all literally are just not educated on what Black Americans have gone through, experience, or how we contribute to American culture. Some of them are quite literally just ignorant. Now, all of them, I doubt. If you've never been over here.
So to me, it's like, I don't got nothing to prove to you niggas. I know what we over here doing. And it's like, I don't know nothing about what y'all got going on over there neither.
Correct.
So it's like, and I would never land on like culture for one. And then I would never land on like, you don't know where you from for two. Cause it's like, nigga, all of us got colonized. We quite literally arguing in English. So, I don't really got time for that back and forth shit about the difference being birthplace. But you can see the parallels in cuisine. You can see the parallels in dance and music. You can see the parallels in just how we relate to one another. There's a parallel history because colonization is a playbook. So they kind of treat everybody the same way everywhere they go. They kind of run the same plays. And I don't really be having time to get into it with niggas about stupid shit. And I also am not going to educate a willfully ignorant person. So, but the thing is like, it's FBA, then it's ADOS. The ADOS is African descendants of slaves, and then it's or American descendants of slaves, and then now it's a Solon. This come to find out the Solon nigga is a little xenophobic too. It's a lot going on with that shit. I'm just like, bruh, nigga, hit the Dougie real quick. Let me see what your Dougie look like real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because you go to Milwaukee. You see how Milwaukee niggas dance?
No.
They dance just like Eritreans.
Wow.
It's like quite literally the same. It's that shoulder shit. They be killing that shit. The Ethiopian, same thing. It'd be like, it's so many parallels that you can find throughout cultures where it's just like, okay, like there is at least a synergy here. Fuck we arguing for. Because like when I had the jam pod on here, I was like, if you go into a room right now and you got 25 Brazilians, 25 Haitians, 25 Nigerians, and 25 Americans, Black Americans, you ain't gonna know who. You just not. So then, what the fuck we talking about? But I think also too, influence is a dangerous thing because like when Hidden Colors, the messengers started proliferating their own messages, niggas started seeing that niggas was a little kooky. You know what I mean? Like we started really seeing Dr. Umar outside of like being like a powerful orator. He believed in some wacky shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing Tariq Nasheed. They believe in wacky shit.
A cancelable food take of mine when I was young. I used to really enjoy a cheese product sandwich.
I love a cheese sandwich. I love a cheese product.
But I could eat it cold. Oh, nigga. Okay. You're the only person who's not looked at me crazy. Two pieces of white bread and some Kraft cheese. Loving it.
Nigga, I'm telling you, I'm just eating the Kraft cheese.
Just a slice.
Bro, I used to open up a slice and then I'll fold that bitch a little bit, bite a hole, and look through that motherfucker. I was a wild nigga. Y'all ain't never eat like bologna. Y'all ain't eat bologna with the red string. Bruh, I'm frying that bitch chewing on the red string. I got microplastics all in me, nigga. Like for real. But
what's wrong with denim tears? I can't have nothing.
I just don't fuck with the nigga. It's like wearing a cross to me.
Okay.
It's like, I get it, but it's like, you got a cross on right now?
No, I don't today.
Nah, it's just like, that shit ain't, you can't, okay, so specifically the nigga Tremaine Emory give me a vibe of a nigga that was only hanging around white people, and now you the super woke black nigga, and so you want to remix that, like, I ain't trying to wear no cotton, nigga. Cotton reef. And then you trying to apply some deeper meaning to it? Nah, bro, I'm cool on that.
I thought it was cool.
Nah, you just a little fashionable person. I get it.
I thought it was, the cotton reefs weren't my vibe specifically, but I thought it was a cool concept, him, because I thought it was him and a native person. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tristan, cut it out.
I thought you just said his name was Tremaine. I made that up.
Tristan's my editor.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how you circumvent all that.
Okay,
it don't
cool.
even have to go out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But nah, it's not, whatever.
Okay.
Also, too, it's like,
Okay.
I be hearing murmurings and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
You did. But, using the platform to make a production, right? I think, so I will say I'll credit you for this. Like, you the first person that brought me on like a real set.
Aww.
You feel what I'm saying? Green room vibes, my name on shit. I'm like, ooh, nigga, ooh, me. You know what I mean? But I like it though because, you good? You want?
Oh, you get it?
Nigga, it's a bag of chips. Of course we can hear it. He trying to open the slow. Just go ahead and rip that motherfucker.
Slow is worse.
Yeah, it's louder when you do it slow. Just go ahead and. I'm like, look at this nigga trying to gently open a bag of chips. But I like how well produced it is. And also I like that, like, when you watch it in full, it's like a whole totally different thing. So like, cause I don't, I'm only there for whatever, maybe an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. The last episode we did with the 4 Black Men, exquisite. Like, I fuck with that. It was a great idea.
It was
a great idea. When that
and
dropped.
it was at first when we was talking about it, they were like, yeah, we want to put you into I was like, put me in for what? I just didn't feel like it was a place for, let me rewind everything I was about to say. I just felt like we had an opportunity to let men have the conversation, but also men that we could trust to have a conversation that wasn't harmful to anybody.
Correct.
Like, I just went and had a conversation with a bunch of young girls, and the thing that I kept repeating, trying to instill it in them as they're young, you should be passionate about whatever you want to be passionate about as long as you're not hurting somebody else in the process.
Correct.
Have your community and people who are like-minded with you as long as you're not hurting people with your like-mindedness. And that's always a barometer for whether or not you should have a microphone or just even be like a person in society contributing, Also,
too, it's just, I think when you enter media, when you enter to the media in a space of social commentary, talking about Black folk shit, Blackness in and of itself is political, so it lends you to be in the political sphere. Mm-hmm. And there is a real thing that's called a digital footprint. You got to be very mindful of what you say and how that can affect your opportunities. Fortunately for me, don't really give a fuck. But I have seen, since I've been kind of in this role, I've seen people lose opportunities because niggas is bringing up shit they said 2 years ago, 3, and it was out of a place of hurt. But nonetheless, you go viral for your hurt opinion, and now people don't want to work with you.
But my thing is, I feel like we often rob ourselves of opportunities with an unwillingness to say sorry or
that
just
too.
To say, I know better now. And I get, like, if you say that, if that's how you come off rip and people are still trying to hold you to a thing that you did when you were young, but you like atone for that, that's a different experience, and I can understand the frustration. But I think we've been so hurt as a community, and yes, we do have a history of different structures and systems and just people trying to tear Black men down, that we just default to that, when in fact we can learn as a community as well and be better as well and model that genuine apologetic nature and like growth. And I don't, what is that? Like, that seems like a threat to masculinity or power or something, or perceived threat to masculinity or power for a lot of people. And I don't get it.
I don't understand it either, because like the most mature thing I can like say that I do now more than anything is apologize when I'm wrong. And admit to being hurt by things too. Like before, it's like, man, I'm straight, bro. Shouldn't hurt my feelings. Well, I tell niggas straight up, bro, that shit hurt my feelings, bro. Like, don't talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think also we are getting a lot of information from this greater society that's dictating how we maneuver and how we posture ourselves towards each other. And oftentimes, like, just being hurt is a good enough excuse to cut each other down. And I think that we need to like claim, not even reclaim, just claim an approach to take with one another. I don't like beefing publicly. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think we should be tearing each other down publicly, because clearly we have Black people don't treat our like race as a cult. We don't treat our race with like, we don't approach it from a PR standpoint. A lot of other ethnic groups treat their group like PR. Like, I won't say anything about this group publicly. I may have my criticisms behind closed doors, right? So then when people from those communities come out and say stuff, it's like, it shocked the world type shit. Like, you wouldn't know how pervasive anti-Blackness was in the Latino community if it had not been for Black Latinos coming out and speaking on it. But normally that's supposed to be some hush-hush, like, you know what I mean? Black people, we be putting all our business out there. For the better or the worse, you know, we're gonna put it all out there. And I think that there is something like admirable about that shamelessness, but I think it's also something extremely detrimental because you've now given other people entryways to hurt you and to stir up shit within you. Thoughts, opinions?
No, I mean, I think you're right. That's something I've been pondering on a lot because I feel like we thrive as a community because we don't adhere to a lot of the things other racial groups do. And whether or not, like you said, it's for better or for worse, finding that balance is going to take time because I feel like we should have the attitude to like protect one another like our lives depends on it. And I feel like you said something to me. You were talking about YNs, how you don't like using it or like giving anybody else license to use the word YN because you're just essentially letting them say nigga. I think we should have some sort of decorum about ourselves to not allow other people to denigrate us and disrespect us. But with that sort of allegiance comes letting a lot of dangerous shit fly in the name of, I got to have this person's back on account of race. And so I'm just wondering where we exist in the middle to do that in a healthy way. And maybe we have an opportunity to do that because we've seen both sides. But I
think that men specifically, I always gonna address men. I feel like that's my bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know niggas, so I know how niggas think. And as somebody who would have thought like them at one point and either matured from it or just realized it was stupid, we can't protect predators.
Correct.
So there's a thing of like, people exhibit all this predatory behavior, this behavior that's harmful to the group, but we got to protect them because they're Black. That's out. I ain't on that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to go to war for Diddy, bro. I'm cool on that.
Oh, no. Cool.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that there is a thing of like, accusation doesn't equate guilt. So we do need a due process even within ourselves about like, sometimes niggas be charged with some heinous shit, you feel me? And like, but we just see this with a young guy, what's his name? Kyron Lacey?
The LSU?
Yeah. So things like that, it's like, there's not been a lot of people who's spoken publicly apologetically towards that young man and his family. But everybody was demonizing him when the act happened. So it's like, if you're gonna demonize me publicly when I'm acquitted and when my name is clear, you need to apologize to me publicly too. Because that's how you create an allegiance. But this part of like not wanting to be apologetic, I think that it hurts you as an individual in the long run because that's just a great skill to have. And to be able to admit wrong.
And to be honest, like, again, to my question earlier about this perceived threat to power, I have the following I have because people trust me to say when I'm wrong. Like, even when I first got started, it was never about like being right. It was about getting people the information. So if somebody corrected me, and the thing is, like, you kill people with kindness, even if they came off with the worst attitude in the world, I'm gonna pin the comment of the correction and say thank you for the correction. Like,
I be on the same shit, bro.
Yeah, and like doing that type of work, like, makes people want to continue to be in community with you, and also just makes people like really rock with you and be able to trust you. Like, I need to be right. It's just a very weird sect.
Well, but it's because it's not integral. It's you know, I think integrity comes from like that willingness to be like, yeah, I missed the mark on that. Even with my editor Tristan, I'll tell him like, if I missed the mark, call me. Tell me like you missed the mark. Put an editor's note in there and let niggas know I was wrong about this.
I remember Tristan. He had the locks.
Yeah. I ain't
Cool.
tripping on being wrong, bro.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm wrong all the time, we are, you know what I'm saying? That can't be the vibe of the show. Like, bro, this nigga just be saying anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you like trying to recollect dates and recollect times and things like that, you gonna miss the mark on some of this stuff. You know what I mean? We all humans. We just got the memory we got. You know what I'm saying?
Do the best we can.
Do the best we can. But I mean, I think as long as the intention is pure, and the willingness to be, you know, admit when you're wrong, it make it a lot more powerful. But it also, like you said, it strengthens the relationship you have to your audience. I do want to, you know, give you some flowers. Why you look me up and down like that? What's up?
What's the flowers?
What was this?
I don't know. You pivoted and I didn't know where it was going.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
So you did moderate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Moderate 107 days.
I did.
You did moderation for Kamala Harris.
I did.
How was that? How did that come about?
My God, today. I have so many thoughts on that. I've been talking to everybody about it. Just because I'm my own biggest critic. We'll get there though. How it came about. So when I was doing the parking lot spread by word of mouth and quite literally group chats and stuff. So I don't know how it made its way to the vice president's office, but it did. But they were in Georgia for something or coming to Georgia for something and asked us if they could come be on the show. So we had to like turn around a makeshift parking lot with Vice President of the United States in 7 days. And because we only had 7 days, I wasn't trying to add additional stress to myself by trying to come at her with this hard-headed stuff that I had to send to her team to know they were going to send back and tell me to edit. So we figured out a topic of gun control. It went well. Super stressful situation, but we were able to rise to the occasion, just with like security and all this kind of stuff. But that went well. And then when I got my show, not that I don't think she remembered me, but she's off. You know, she didn't win the election. She is off of work, basically, like, you know, to herself, being a private citizen. But the day that my show announced on social media, she called my phone. And I was like in a work meeting and it came up no caller ID. So I paid it. But you know, now they send you the text translation. So the next thing I see on my phone, it says, Lene, this is Kamala Harris. I was like, fuck. So I hung up on everybody and I called her back and she was just telling me congratulations and really commending me on using my instincts and that the moment was deserving and all this other stuff. And then when she released the book, they reached back out and said they want me to moderate for her tour when she did her stop in Atlanta. So, you know, people have their commentary and a lot of it's valid. But what I can say about that relationship is that I think she did try to forge like a genuine one. Yeah. So how it went though, my God, today. It's just stressful. You'll never understand what it's like to work with people like that until you're in a situation because the amount of security that's involved, like your movement is limited, who can be with you is limited. But when they told me this, I wanted to be over prepared. So they sent me the book. I started annotating it, you know, like I was in grad school again. Had to listen to most of it because I was just on the run, producing my show, traveling and stuff. But I came up with like 15 really dope questions. Whole time there were some generic questions that I never saw because they were never like linked. But when I sent them, I got the vibe they were like, damn, this girl is doing a lot. Because they called and was just like, you know, we want to focus on the future and not so much the past. We want it to be conversational. And then she called me the next day, the day before, to kind of like reiterate the same thing. So I edit my questions. I send them again. They tell me they'll print the questions out. I get there, no questions are printed. And they just like, yeah, let's just make it conversational. Here's the generic questions if you want to use those. Talk about yourself in relation to. So I went up there and did my very best, but I was nervous as hell, you know, just because not feeling like I was as prepared as I wanted it to be. But I feel like a lot of that was internal because when I got off the stage, literally everybody around me was like, you did such a good job. So I was grateful for that. I try my best to be as present as I can in the situation, do the most of what I got and let the Holy Spirit guide whatever I don't. So I think it went really well, but like I said, I'm my own biggest critic and I feel that often. And so I've been having a conversation too about whether or not interviews are particularly my thing. Like I can have conversations with people and that's what ended up being like a conversation between two people with ideas about this political moment. But like I'm not a host, you know? So it was cool. It was great. Don't know that I'll say yes again.
Yeah, because because of the preparation, or just because of the all the things. You know what I mean?
I mean, we'll just see. Like I told you, I got this spoken word project that's about to come out, and that's always been my first love. And this other stuff has come my way, and I've accepted it gracefully and tried to wield it gracefully. But I'm trying to decide like what things come most naturally to me and what makes me feel good. And I'm not convinced yet that hosting conversations is it. Now, I'm kind of lying when I say I don't know if I say yes again, because I do think I'm very well suited to bring specific topics to conversation with specific people.
Correct.
Yeah, but I just don't want to get pigeonholed and like this person's a host, because in the industry, like once they feel like you good at something, that's all they ever want to like.
Yeah,
book you
it's gonna end
for.
up being
And
Ryan
I've just
Seacrest
got-
for real.
Ryan Seacrest is crazy. I just got other
That's
things
all that
I
nigga do
wanna
is host
do
shit.
creatively, and all of it is based in the type of things that I talk about. But like I'm a creative, like I like to tell stories with that.
I think the beauty of social media is that you can recreate who you are constantly, right? So I don't think you have to worry too much about being pigeonholed. I think the reason why people want you is because of what you do. That's it's atypical to what a host would normally be. You're driving a conversation. I don't want to be, like there's no dynamic aspect to just asking questions and having them answered. So I don't think you have to really worry about that. I think
that's what people keep telling me. Like, don't worry about it, but I'm a worry. I just
I mean,
want to do a good job.
so you're doing great. You know what I mean? I think I'm just as big on myself. Like when we finished the live show, people telling me how great it was, and I'm in the back of my mind, I was like, that was some dog shit. I ain't gonna hold it. You know what I'm saying?
Shit is nuts.
Well, because it's like I'm not there. I'm doing it. So I don't know. I don't know what the pacing is. I don't know what people are receiving. I don't know if the joke's landing. I don't know. I don't know if the conversation is happening as broadly as I want it to. After 24 hours, I'll settle and be like, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. But while you in it, it's just like, God, that sucked. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, there's a mixture of nerves. There's a mixture of like, did I execute? And then there's a mixture of like, is people just saying I did good because I was there? You know what I mean? It's all these different things. Like, because when we at the spot, like the episode we just dropped this past week, 91, when I'm done with like the quote unquote meat of the show, when I'm done with that conversation, I be knowing. Like, I be like, every time it would hit that pause, I'd be like, whoa! I just killed that shit, nigga. But that's because we in that space so often that I'm like, I know that flow.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing it in different spaces, like the live aspect, and I'm talking to people and looking at people, there is a level of nerves there too, because I want to put on a quality show. I want people to enjoy themselves. I want them to want to come back. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be this thing where it's like, God damn, you don't want to bomb. I know I ain't bomb. But
and I just said this to one of them little girls today. And granted, she was 9 years old. She's like, what do you do when you don't do something well or something, or when you fail? And I think the first thing I said was, you try again, but how old are you? She's like, I'm 9. I said, well, you will have so many opportunities to do so many other things for the first time. And it's silly to think that the first time you try something, even if it's a version of what you've done before, that you do it perfectly.
Yeah, it's a conversation I have with my kids all the time.
Yeah.
It's the first time you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, failure is like, I be like, one thing that I really be trying to push, especially to young people, but like my kids specifically, is like, failure is when you give up. Like when you just be like, I'm not gonna do it no more because I don't think I'm good at it. I mean, that is failure. You know what I'm saying? Because you gave up. But I also operate in this aspect within. It's like, what are you good at? So like, go for that, and then like fine tune, because a thing is never just a thing. You know what I mean? Like a podcast turns into me speaking at colleges, turns into me hosting panels, turns into me at the Urban League,
writing a book.
Writing a book.
You gonna write a book?
I would. I got a Substack.
I know that's right.
But it's only available to the people that are on my Patreon. And I wanted to talk to y'all about that, It ain't nothing but $8. Chris and X podcast on Patreon. It's linked. Also, too, great questions. Great questions from Mona Leo. Great questions. She fucked with that. So typically,
you told them to ask me some questions? That's crazy.
No. It don't happen.
It's crazy.
It don't happen. It don't happen for everybody. It's not for it. It don't. It's normally just when it's like musical artists.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people have like when I ask questions to people that's
he said no.
A little bit. I just fucking with you when I say that. But when I ask questions to people's like more creators or like a little bit more political, people start infusing their politics into it. It's like that ain't the conversation we're gonna have. When it's music, that's a product, and you know what I'm saying. It's like it's a little easier for them to like generate the question. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's like there may be something they wanted to ask that person specifically about this song. I think it just drives the conversation forward. I notice when it's like a little bit more political, it'll get into criticism. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's my guess. I ain't finna have me criticizing my guess because you know what I'm saying? Nice. Kick you up out of the Patreon. But I think that like to your point and to the proof that a thing just ain't a thing. Like it branches and it lends to so many other things. So end goal, like, you know what I'm saying, is the big goal poetry? You know what I mean?
The big goal is to do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Really.
Right.
I mean, with the poetry, I see so many opportunities coming from that. Like not just to be an artist myself, but to collaborate with other artists that I really respect, potentially writing for them or just doing interludes or whatever, just existing in that space. I also want to. I have a scripted show. I got a graphic novel that I'm working on. Like I said, I tell stories. I want to direct. I want to produce things. I just want to be not necessarily a jack of all trades, but I want to have developed the relationships and respect in the industry as like a voice that people trust to include or even lead or be a visionary on their projects.
Absolutely.
Really not end goal, but I'm the type of person that be like, I don't got bucket list type shit. But Ryan Coogler put me in a Marvel movie yesterday, and I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Put me in a Marvel movie yesterday, and I'm not playing. I can be in Ironheart season 2 if you want me to. I done already told y'all I could be in a parking lot somewhere, and y'all can do like a fight scene past me or some shit. But like, put me in there, and I'm not playing. Thank you. I'm very serious.
I know. I was gonna let it breathe. You know what I mean? So niggas knew how serious you was. Oh yeah, because you was on.
What?
You funny as shit.
What?
I was just thinking about you want to be in a superhero movie because when niggas was doing the content, you definitely had niggas in the crib trying to do superheroes.
And I'm gonna ask everybody to do superhero shit at the opening of every movie or every video.
I mean, people seem to really like that content. Yeah, it was good. We should run that back.
Again. Yeah,
we should run it back. Well, maybe when niggas are sober,
or not, because that seemed to be great.
Hey, I'm down. You know me, I'm down for a good time. You feel me? We was having this conversation. I was having I'm not a fan of AI. I don't like it. I don't. If there were ethical uses to it, and there was things that people were using it for that were beneficial, that couldn't already be done. Like you can make your own grocery list. I don't need to see Martin Luther King.
Do anything.
Right. You know what I mean? So I think the uses of it is the reason I don't like it.
The cat videos really be pissing me off.
Cat videos?
You seen the cat videos? They be having like these AI cat melodrama stories. It's a lot.
I hate that. Oh man, it's people like passing off like it's people fake cooking, like they fake got meals and shit. It's a mess. It's a fucking mess. But we was talking about that conversation led into the jobs that people would lose behind it. They're rolling out these robotic wheelchairs to replace people pushing people through the airport. And then that conversation led into like the number 300,000 Black women that have been pushed out of their industries this year. My take on it is that the idea of being overqualified came from not wanting to compete with Black women in spaces. Because I've only ever heard Black women say they was overqualified for jobs. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and I grew up around a lot of women,
Well,
so.
Shy McBride said it in Roll Bounce.
Who?
Shy McBride, when he was the daddy in Roll Bounce. So cool.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, the daddy when he was wearing them suits?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Mhm.
Also, shout out to Overqualified by Duran Bernard. Great song.
I don't think I heard it yet.
Man, I'm gonna play that for you when we done, man.
Okay.
That's my fact. That's my shit.
Okay.
How the hell am I? He be killing that shit.
Okay.
When Duran be killing that shit. I mean, whole time we was interviewing him, he did just start stimming in this bitch, yeah. But you know, but that take on it stems from personal experience with my mom. My mom would always have like these offers for like great positions in the corporate world, and then it's like, I guess when they seen her accolades and her resume, it was, oh, you overqualified, and it's like,
that's
damn,
insane.
what they just don't want to pay you or some shit, or like whatever the case may be. But then I started thinking about this statistic about Black women being the most educated by gender and race in this country, and then it's like, oh, you just don't want to compete. Because staying this nigga who won't be named and is no longer with us.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It was saying like, you taking a white man's job, like DEI is taking a white man's job, affirmative action is taking a white man's job. And it's
Did he go to
like,
community college?
did he pass? That's the real question. Did you even leave with a certificate? But the thing is, the point being is that there was an idea that this would target a minority group. The unfortunate part is that you're taking extremely qualified people out of the workforce. You're taking people who are pioneering industries out of the workforce. And people that may be the most qualified, you're taking them out of the workforce and replaced for mediocrity, which is basically like this administration in a nutshell.
I was just about to say, the first thing I said when she sat down on that stage was, can we give it up one more time for the most qualified candidate to ever apply for the position? And that's simply the truth. Like, having this storied history of not just being an elected official, but like working with so many different groups of Americans and like the most marginalized Americans. And when you treat the least of us, you benefit the most people. So like, quite literally, somebody who could benefit all American people, speak to their experiences and also just have them in mind when developing policy. And now you have a dickhead in office who doesn't know what the fuck's going on, but has somehow found a way to do something crazy every single day since he was inaugurated, and is putting people in position that don't know shit about a motherfucking thing. And all of our systems are deteriorating from within. And at this point, well, I don't know if I can say that on the podcast.
Say whatever you want.
I'm just like, I feel like we could use some foreign aid, and whatever that look like. Somebody got to come do something, because obviously the niggas here not doing enough. Because, and I'm not saying that. Let me take that back, because I don't want to give fodder to the group of people. Democrats are just on. And let me also take one step back. I don't consider myself to be a Democrat or a liberal or a whatever the fuck. I am a Black woman in America who makes informed decisions about my politics, and I align myself with whatever party can get those things done the best, the most efficient way.
Correct.
But I don't like.
And it should be an American thing. Like that be my shit though. It's like, when you turn this shit into teams, when you turn this shit into, I mean, the idea of a Republican is just a straight white man, right? So then the idea of a Democrat is anybody who doesn't fall into that demographic. But like, when we start saying things like vote blue no matter who, then like, what stops a nigga that was once Republican from flipping, going Democrat, whatever the case may be?
To do that.
Because it's effectively, I'm going to have the same impact on these policies, right? So when you're not informed politically and you just voting based on color, you don't know what you're voting in.
Yeah.
And then to take it a step further, I don't think that like we should be, our government and our democracy shouldn't be ran as a competition. It shouldn't be a thing like you either for this team or for that team. And it's like, who's the best candidate? What side of the aisle they on should be irrelevant, right? But for whatever reason, the red versus blue dynamic, this binary way of thinking is a way that they use to control people. Binary thought is quite literally a tool of control, because if you only have two choices, you really don't have none. So I'm not a fan of the government at all. I don't fuck with politicians. I feel like they all lie.
Would you
sit
with any one of them?
Probably not. I mean, I've sat with a few of them. I sat with Sam Foster, who's running for mayor of Marietta. He would be the first black man. I'm not opposed to what they do, but it's like, we're going to talk about it for real? Because like, you can't come in. This ain't the place. Niggas don't want to come up here. They know this ain't the place where you could just give your, for the great people in the state of Florida, like state of Georgia, state of North Carolina, they ain't gonna be able to get that off. Like, nigga, who are you? And how we gonna talk about that?
And that'd be my biggest thing. I just wish there would be more of that. And I think we would have more trust in our communities and politicians if like the only time we saw you wasn't when you was running for something. Like I sat somewhere, and that was gonna be my other point. Like, I'm not saying that there aren't people in office that are Democrats that aren't doing their best against this administration, but the way they set it up with taking over all the branches, it's all but impossible for them to get some shit across the aisle unless more Republicans start to defect. And I still don't even trust their defection, because as soon as they get what they want out of that, we're gonna be back in the same place. But they asked us, how do we get, I was at a CBC something, like, how do we get people more involved, or like, how do we increase trust? Y'all got to stop canvassing for votes and canvassing for needs. Like, single, and like,
that's what they was talking about at the NLU.
Where's
it's
your
like
random this, that, and the other, like throughout the year. Like, if you don't want us to treat elections like something to only look at every 4 years, then you need to also be around us and in conversation with us consistently and throughout.
That's exactly what the sentiment I had. We was at the NLU, and we were talking about a decrease in black men specifically voting, and how can we get black men more engaged in voting? It's like, well, I wouldn't fuck with anybody that just talked to me for every 4 years. And then every 4 years, you just need something from me. And after you get the thing you need, I don't hear from you again. Who's the person? How do you what you say?
I said sound like niggas.
Hey,
I'll tell you.
I'm projecting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Nah, I wouldn't fuck with nobody even every 2 years. Like, man, get the fuck out my face. But that is some shit, though.
Oh, okay.
But my point being is, like, whoever is in office should be active in those same communities that campaigned in, even after election. It would not only strengthen the bond, but it also holds you accountable to their needs.
That's why I think Mayor Brandon Jackson is doing as well as he is up in Baltimore, just like with the crime rate going down, but just how intentional and involved and entrenched in his community he is. Have you heard him talk about like how he was able to reduce the crime rate?
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Like, I was moved. If I could have seen and heard, we was having technical difficulties during the interview, but like seeing and heard him talk about it in real time, like having people come knock on these kids' doors and be like, I know your name, I see you, here are your options, and I'm willing to give it to you. Like, give these kids tools and opportunity. That's why. That's just why I can't fuck with the optics. I can't fuck with you coming around to shake hands and take photos and simultaneously signing off on shit that is quite literally the detriment of your community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a politician.
Yeah,
that's a modern politician.
That's unfortunate.
It is, because there's a lot of corruption that starts at a local level. And when the corruption starts at the local level, then the goal is to get to the national level. Because, because it's about that money. The second that anything happens, you see the script get rolled out, right? The script of what the politician is supposed to say. So
I hate a fucking script, bro. I hate a script.
Because when the community college dropout got knocked off, there's no room for political violence. There's no room for political violence. But like moving a data center that's gonna like literally poison a neighborhood is political violence.
Hello?
You know what I mean? Like removing trees from black neighborhoods so it's like 10 degrees hotter is political violence. You agitating people.
Uprooting and destroying Native American land that we already took from them one time to put a public safety training, whatever the fuck center on top of it is political violence. And I'm talking about Cop City if you wasn't picking up what I'm putting down. But that's in there's so many like I think Atlanta had one of the most publicized like conversations around Cop City, especially with how many people came out to like make comment and how many hours people stood in line to try to prevent it from happening. But we did some research for my show on it, and quite literally there are either already existing or in the works more than 250 across the nation Cop cities.
Yeah, and they operate as military bases.
And to me,
they're trained by the
like,
IDF.
And to me, that feels like long game sinister shit. Because it was just something to be upset about, especially in cities that don't have that much of a crime issue, like, you know, comparatively or relatively. But then when you get somebody like Donald Trump in office and he's talking about sending National Guards to different cities and like doing like takeovers and blah, blah, blah. Then you got these cop cities militarizing police forces already in effect.
In the place, yeah. So I was explaining to this group of teenagers because they was talking about how like they rent and raised up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, how the hell you know like how much the rent is? He was like, shit, my mama can't afford it. So I need to know. He was like, nigga, that's why I'm breaking in cars. Cause shit, I'm trying to help the best way I can. I'm too young to get a job. But I also can't just stand by and like, he was like, bro, it ain't easy being in the house with her, bro. Because she's so stressed out. He was like, I know that shit ain't got nothing to do with me, but I'm the oldest, so she directed at me. So I be trying to figure out this shit the best way I can. And I was just basically explaining to him that the plan for his rent to be raised was made before he was born. So when people have money, and especially people in power and the corruption that comes with it is how do we sustain? How do we further divide and how do we sustain? And these things are in effect for a very long time. Like the plan is there for a very long time because when you have the money and you can sit in a seat of power and you have no questions about where your next dollar or your next meal coming from, and you basically like your life is on auto pay, then you could plan. And like a lot of times poor people, the biggest thing that we fight against is being reactionary. It's hard to organize when you're reacting to everything all the time. And it's also hard to organize when the things you're reacting to affect everybody differently because everybody's needs is not going to be met or they wants. So when you have people that have 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plans, when you have people saying, okay, we're designing this cop city and it's going to be backed by these corporations and these corporations are going to peel off these politicians so that they can pass these things through. And then something happens where a martial law gets put into effect. They already have all of the resources necessary to enact the martial law. So that's how I look at it.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
You just got me thinking about a number of things and just how like you said, how long these plans have been in effect to also contribute to what is like the waning of the Black middle class or just any middle class, the middle class period. Like it's becoming like so much smaller and the poverty rate is increasing drastically. And it's things like that and it's conversations like this because I feel pressure often to like come with some solutions. I'm brand shit. So, you know, I try to give myself some grace because I don't know everything as many people don't, just trying to put their foot in the door as far as like change goes. But something that I've been contemplating a lot is that my awakening as far as like liberation politics goes, like people been here before mentally. Like people have had the same realizations that I've had and almost like in order to a T. But I do wonder, and so 2 things. That makes me feel less pressure to figure it out.
Mhm.
But it also makes me a little bit worried because if people are doing this over and over again throughout time, are we ever going to get ahead? But I wonder if with the advent of technology and more people being exposed to even conversations like this, and we might not change everybody's mind. We might not even educate the people on all the stuff that we talking about in this one episode because some stuff is going to go in one ear and out the other. But do you think we might be in a phase where we can get ahead? Like, do you think that mindset shift, we're able to perpetuate that on a larger scale than has been accessible to us before
Absolutely.
to get further?
Yeah, well, the groups change when individuals change. Like, so it's like groupthink is very dangerous, right? But it is also a very useful tool. But it has to be comprised of like integral individuals that want to move things forward. So you, me, and young dudes at the gym, Van Lathan, these people we're the new black media for people. And it's being approached in a way where we control the narrative. So I think that for one, it's a beautiful thing that it doesn't need to be one person with all the answers, right? But you need to have some fucking answers for me. So my solution-based thing is with the trade schools, and because it's a lived experience for me, because I done came from the street, because I understand like what the pitfalls of society are for people who don't have skills, because I've experienced them. I've raised kids without skills and trying to hustle and do all this and that. And I know how big of a difference like having a skill made in my life and put me literally right here where I'm at. I know that I can advocate for that as an avenue for progress for people. Financial progress is a big thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, if we having a shrinking middle class, how do you recreate a situation where people are having upward mobility? That's my solution to that. I don't have the answers for everything else, right? But you go somewhere else and they have answers, right? And they have their perspective. And honestly, what we are in is in an era of perspective shifting, right? So like what you was talking about earlier, where you was like, I'm just opening my hands, I'm gonna let them take the wheel, right? I be telling people that all the time, like I'm in a attraction business. I don't do whole bunch of chasing because if you chase something, I mean it's running away from you. So I think that with where I'm at and who I am, and that's being enough, I'm gonna see what come to me, right? So I think in our community, we could benefit a lot from taking information, applying the information, and see what comes from it, instead of always projecting what we think gonna go wrong. We have a lot of like projection about, well, when we tried this before, it was like these different times, these different circumstances, and also we seen these things work. You know what I mean? So go back to doing what worked, and then take the precautions around what destroyed it and what dismantled it. There's a lot of work that comes from the inside and divides us and puts us on the outs with each other. Anytime you start seeing black people online showing each other love, talking, this is why I don't like that FBA talk, and I don't like all that shit, because you have situations where people are happy and they're having a cultural moment, and then niggas start asking niggas where they from and where they grandma from and all this goof ass shit, and we getting away from the thing. We getting away from the thing, bro. The thing is about being prideful and things like that. So I think that it's a responsibility that we have as people in media and people with voices that people actually listen to continue to be optimistic and push like not only just solution-based things, but like point out the problems, right? We can't solve shit we don't know what the problem is, right? There is no solution without an address of the problem. So we also have to be trusting, and I think that that's something that I'm in that place where I'm extremely trusting on my audience that they can figure things out too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't have to talk at people and tell people what to do. I can create a premise. I can set a premise and trust that these people are smart enough to bring their skills together. These are people listening to me.
Correct.
These ain't just numbers. These ain't just robots. These are people with lived experiences and perspectives and different skills and a multitude of professions. And also, like, maybe are actionably doing things even if they're not popular on social media. You know what I'm saying? There's people in organizing spaces with 400 followers because they shit is like happening in real life and not on social media. So the things have to work in like tandem with each other. And it shouldn't be just this thing of you know, we're going to trust the people with the biggest voices and they got to figure everything out, because it's also like, I can't continue to bring you the message and the perspective if I'm also over here solving all the problems too. That's how you like either get people burnt out or you lose public trust. Like, you got to do what you know you good at. You have to help in the spaces where you are. So that's why we're big on like fundraising and mutual aid and things that like we could use this platform to elevate certain situations. I ain't no politician. I don't desire to be. But I also am very receptive to the criticism from my audience or the perspectives from my audience that, okay, well, what if we tried it like this? You know what I'm saying? Well, it could work, it might not, but it's also about building that community too, offline, where we can have like real honest discussions and people can offer things up. I'm extremely optimistic. I think we're in like, we're like, you know, the thing is like, all this shit new. You know what I mean? And newer things are coming, but I think that it also is going to take like an eradication of fear collectively from what can go wrong, and we need to start thinking about what's going to go right.
Yeah, agreed. You said a lot. I was honestly just listening and take it in, but yeah, I think too. Not only do we have to let, and maybe fear is just like the umbrella for everything, but I feel like I was talking to you about this when we was inebriated at my house.
Yeah,
but I feel like
nasty ginger candies. Go ahead.
What the ginger candy is good. Anywho, I'll have some more the next time you're there. We are also facing this like lack of imagination, and the lack of imagination isn't necessarily our fault because we know what we've been exposed to, and what we've been exposed to is some people who have had the monopoly on imagination for 400 plus years, and the worlds they keep building with imagination are the same. Like, it's just different versions of one another. We can't do slavery no more. Okay, how can we continue to perpetuate shackles? How can we continue to perpetuate violence? How can we continue to perpetuate natal alienation, like keep these people away from their, like, isolate? How do we continue to perpetuate isolation and being miserable and whatever, and not having a whole lot of options, and strained dynamics within families because you know your mama's outbursts ain't got nothing to do with you, but what are you to do with that when you are still like developing your frontal lobe and having to make space for your mom's whatever because she can't afford the rent? So I say all that to say, like, we have to be willing to turn back in towards ourselves and let that imagination flow and go, because we're going to have to detach ourselves from what we think reality does not have to be this.
Facts.
It doesn't have to be this. The only reason that we have poverty, quite literally, we don't have to have a homeless population. America's got the money for it. Quite literally, our teachers don't have to be so thankless and not get paid shit because the money is there. But also, we don't have to live these lives where we pass each other on the street and we don't know each other and we don't speak, and we have these like whatever premeditated like judgments or projections that prevent us from being in community. We don't have to live these lives where we have to go to the grocery store to get groceries and our bill be $200 when it's so much land out there for us, when it's people willing to teach us how to cultivate land. I was just doing a site visit down at the Acre Boys, and when I tell you that man, his name is Patrick Muhammad. Look up Acre Boys and Acre Boys Farming. Acre Boys be giving away like acres of land and teaching Black people how to buy and flip and do stuff like that. But Acre Boys Farming teaches people how to cultivate it. And he came down to Fairburn to get some land, and they got emus, alpacas, like cats everywhere, horses, all these things. And he's just happy as a clam, like feeding his chickens in the morning, walking around with his dogs, like showing me where his stream is in the back. And he's got this school, Chattahoochee Hills school, that's like in the woods, but it's so beautiful. It's all these, it's K through 8 charter school. And really, it wasn't even a Black school in the beginning. it became a black school because of white flight, because white people are terrible and they're pussies. But it became this haven for these black kids to be invested in, not just with love, but with also like agriculture and like have tools and like skills when they leave. And they have all kinds of murals. And I can just go on and on about it, but you should just go see for yourself if they're doing tours or whatever. But I say all that to say is his biggest worry, and it was so funny when me and my director were listening to him talk, his biggest worry is the beavers that be cutting down trees and like shutting off like the stream and stuff, trying to prevent the water from flowing. But he's got a community of neighbors that quite literally just pour into each other. They ain't got to go get their eggs nowhere. They are sustaining one another. And that's an imagination we refuse. That's a imaginative capacity. We refuse to let ourselves get to, because we feel like we have to buy into what's sold to us. All this new construction, all these new hot spots or whatever in the city. Like, that's why I'm happy that rodeo culture is like making a comeback, getting people back out the trail rides and just getting them more like invested in the land and the soil, because we can live differently and we don't have to be subjected to the mayhem and despair that trying to buy into the system that they've imagined for us. So that was a long tirade to say we are on the precipice of like shit being about to look like it's never looked like for us. So we can't try to cling to or stay committed to a previous version of a life, but that's also why I keep saying everywhere I go, we got to know what each other needs, so we don't feel lonely, so we don't feel desperate, so we don't feel too scared to try this other way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Afrofuturism is like a very big thing, right? Like the imagining of a piece amongst ourselves, like a piece of creativity, a piece of community, a free politic of like white supremacy. Basically, that's like really what it is. I think one of my bigger things for people in shifting perspectives is like all this like hodgepodging and like canoodling with your enemy and shit, bro. Like I can't get with that shit, bro. Like that be the biggest thing that be regressive. It's like niggas putting faith in their enemy. And it's like, but you got no faith in your people. Like, how easy is it to acknowledge your folks when you see them? I'm like a big proponent of that. Like, I'm talking about in a real way. Like, do you need help with your bags? Do you need like, I'm holding the door. I'm doing everything to create a bond and a trust and like at least a faith that we'll look out for each other and that we see each other when we see each other. I also like want to see like a mass exodus out of certain spaces. Like, why is niggas still in California? Come back down south, bro. Come on back down.
Hey. Really enjoy the Los Angeles.
I ain't fucking with it, man. Get on back down here. You too far away, bro. You too far away, bro. Come on back down here, bro.
I enjoy the weather.
Milwaukee niggas, Chicago niggas, Detroit niggas, y'all all just some country niggas. Y'all can post up. Y'all can just post up and stay where y'all at. But like, and this is like a reality that doesn't exist. But it's just like I just see that for niggas like creating our own cities and spaces where the land is underutilized. The politics are hyper local. We are in control of things without
Speak
outside.
On that underutilization, because I drove past somewhere yesterday, I think in Bankhead, and shit was cleaned and tractors was running. And I was like, what the, where did y'all find this land? This land was not here before for y'all to be building shit. What are you building now? And probably some more houses. Atlanta it's not a joke, y'all. We're full.
Yeah, bro. I've never seen niggas have houses where they just throwing shit up.
And 2 inches next to somebody else.
You feel me? And it's like, that's not
this is not Boston.
Well, it's also like not sustainable. It was never built to be like this. It's a southern city. They have now, I think with all of the entertainment that's come here and this idea of a Black Mecca, they're trying to recreate a northeastern city. But that shit up there was built to be like that. Our downtowns and our midtowns don't look anything like Eastern and Midwestern midtowns. Just talking about that today. It doesn't look the same. Like, it don't look like Chicago. Chicago looks very intentionally built. And
but also like the look is different, but like the experience is different.
Correct.
There's no reason for you to pay upwards of $5,000 to $6,000 to live in our midtown. There's no reason for that. I don't care how nice the building is.
Well, also too, it's like it looked good. What's the integrity of the building though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and also too, like, stop. Ain't no valet trash is like, stop doing that.
It's terrible news.
Why am I sitting garbage outside my door?
Terrible
It
news.
always stink.
Flies.
What we doing?
Gnats.
Let's tighten that up. And this is how you know it's not. It's like because niggas don't know what to do. They don't know what they doing. It's like, oh, I remember we just start a valet trash service. No, nigga, just.
Speaking of valet, parking is the biggest. I don't even know how we got here.
No, it's like we trying to imagine a better future.
Granted,
and this is how we do it by criticizing the present
in the parking lot, I guess. But parking is the biggest scam to ever hit the face of the planet.
Well,
obviously.
The extension that they put in the 285 is like, bruh, you already have the infrastructure for a better, more efficient MARTA system, and you just won't do it because you niggas is racist. It's really what it comes down to.
And being racist in Atlanta is crazy.
It's insanity. You're like literally surrounded by black excellence. And what you think? What do you think about yourself?
They're trying to divide us by class and insert whites here. And it's never all white people, but it's always white people.
You did.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
See what I'm saying?
I just
Get out right now.
Leave. I do think that there is a possibility. It really is more so about what the goals of people are, right? So on the surface, most people don't want to be in the public eye, but they strive for the public eye because the public eye seems like where the money is, right? Most people don't necessarily like a nigga might not give a fuck about being a linebacker, but he know that linebackers make money. So like my whole push towards trade and skilled trades is to give people an alternative perspective about how you can get money and how to make it sustainable. And then it also compounds into local politics. It also compounds into a new generation of entrepreneurship. And that compounds into people shopping with local farms. Like all of these things, they seem very simple, but the more you do certain shit, the more you're exposed to certain different perspectives on life. And like contentment is like a real thing. But with the contentment, like being content with life, it requires a routine.
Yeah.
When you just like all over the place, you just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stick, you can never be content. So like I have a vision for myself and where I want to go because of what I've achieved. But I also understood like at one point in my life, I was good, bro. Like when I started driving trucks and I was getting money, it's like, okay, well, the only thing I need to change about this is being away for so long. You know what I'm saying? And like, so I just worked my way into figuring that out. But because of who I am and how I speak, and this being the nigga I always was, by me starting making content, it just created a new avenue for me. But that's not going to be the case for most people. So I think that, you know, like we got enough rappers. Ain't none of you new niggas really like hitting on shit for real. You ain't making no money off of streaming. We don't own the industry. We are due for a new genre. That's what niggas do. Every 30 years, we kind of make a new genre of music. So we probably gonna start to see a lot, and I would love to see a rise in like dance music. Like niggas just stop being so cool and niggas just start cutting the rug again. They mosh pitting again? Did you have a good time?
It's back.
It's back.
I was hoping.
It ain't mainstream yet.
Yeah,
I was
good.
hoping you meant more like a Whoop Rico situation.
I mean, that too.
It's definitely a Whoop Rico ass bitch in the cafeteria.
I believe it. I can see it.
Sure,
when they start dancing, what we do, we heard they feel security step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already know. I was a Whoop Rico ass nigga in the period. Cause I went dancing.
Okay.
We was whooping Rico ass.
Oh.
We was out here whooping niggas, you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Me and Big Cat.
Together. Tag team.
I'm just talking shit. I was a good kid, man. I wasn't bothering nobody. and I'm sticking to it. I think that there's a healthy dialogue that needs to be had. This one, right? Where we are talking and imagining a better future for one another and a better future for ourselves. And what does that look like? And not even idealistically, like there are actionable steps that we could take, like sourcing things locally and things like that. But also like who gonna raise the cows, nigga? Who gonna raise the chickens? Who gonna feed them? You gotta be up at 5 a.m. to do that.
But it's kind of a vibe. Like walking on his farm, I was like, dang, I kind of want to farm. Do this shit stink? Yes. But this is like really peaceful, you know?
For sure. I think there will be a day where I will have no presence publicly.
Love that for you.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be somewhere writing. I'm gonna be somewhere I'm on some land. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's healthier. You know what I'm saying?
I am considering getting a compound with my friends. We all got to get rich though. But
type shit. All
I
I want is enough land to put a single house for each one of my kids on.
Oh,
as long as if I accomplish that, then I'm good. You know what I mean? Everything else, and I do have like this dream studio, like a completely glass building, temperature controlled. That shit hard, ain't it? Nigga being there being creative is a bitch.
It'd be hot. I mean, you said temperature control.
No, temperature control. That's the most important part. Remember that. But like, hell yeah, not like a greenhouse. We ain't gonna be in that bitch cooking. You know what I mean? But like a temperature control situation where it's just an open air space creatively for painting and music recording and a writing nook and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because I have like a lot of cool friends now and shit. Like it's like a lot of creative guys.
I have said
guys
that,
and gals.
Once
you know
I get to where, well, I won't say to where I want to be, but once I get to a point where I can do stuff like that, I'm not an outside goer anyway. But like inviting people over, like, and I was talking to somebody today, just saying like, a lot of the people that I spend my time with are people that I work with in some form or fashion because of what I do. I'm passionate about. Like everything that is work related is something that's a creative outlet for me. So hate that for people who ask me if I have hobbies because it's work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to be able to create spaces like that here in the US. But ever since I went to St. Croix, I spent 3 days in St. Croix. It is so like unbothered as an island. It's not super tourist heavy, but it's just that out the way, not necessarily dejected, but out the way sort of lifestyle is still American enough for me to shop at the grocery store and know what the hell I'm getting and still make some stuff that's familiar, but would love me a house on one of them mountains.
Felt that.
Yeah.
Do you how do you feel about people that feel like we should be making an exodus out of the country?
I think everything's fair game. I think everything's fair game. I think if you have, I spent time talking to Richie. That was the next video I posted after yours. He's got this plan to take niggas back to Namibia, and when I tell you, he's thought of everything. There's sections and what does he call them? Departments for everything. I don't know. He's got a maritime department. He's got a construction department, just like thinking of jobs for people and also how to make sure we assimilate into Namibian culture and don't try to like overtake or whatever, like education programs to decolonize you on the way there. Granted, he want niggas to get on boats to do that. I said, sir, you want us to retraverse the transatlantic slave route to get to Namibia, and he was talking about reclaiming that. But anyway, I think anything's
like
possible.
relinquishing that fear of water.
I just meant specifically going from America to Africa.
I mean, what kind of boat?
That strait.
You know what I mean? Like technology up though.
I don't know.
I mean, you being on the boat give you a lot of time to decompress. You know what I mean? That's a 30-day trip
to educate the people.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, I think, and he's got it all figured out.
I mean, shit, they got over here on some bullshit. So, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't like we're taking a wooden boat. You know what I mean? But
stacked on top of each other. No, I get it. It's just, it's something to think about. Something to like sort of expand
also,
your
niggas
imagination.
Niggas need a 30 days of peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine the first day or two you're gonna be high stressed. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the water is very powerful. water is extremely powerful.
Mhm.
But I think that in the moments of the calm, I don't know how many people have ever had moments of calm.
It probably make them lose their mind for a second. So you're right. It'll be. I think it might be a couple days before you can, like, the classes will start. Niggas start to lose it a little bit, so you got to bake in some time for niggas to lose it, and then come back around.
Yeah, because once you out there,
conflict resolution.
Can't just turn the motherfucker around, bro. We got a full steam ahead, baby.
Unless you want to be buried in the sea with your ancestors, like Killmonger.
It's gonna be some people like that.
Yeah. Not I.
You gotta account for that.
To your question, though, I think it's all possible. I
For
think
sure.
we all just have to think things are possible. And the conversation he and I, how we ended it was, everybody doesn't have to do everything, but everybody has to do something.
Facts.
So if that's what you want to do, like, commit to that shit. I am a person, and I feel like Miss Tina B on Instagram, her name is Christina.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I think she said something about she's really invested in the downfall of her ops, and me as well. As far as like white people, here in America, I like to see.
Me too.
Exactly.
I'm absolutely invested. In fact, I'm over-invested.
For sure.
I made an entire platform about
it. Absolutely. People say praying on your downfall.
Fuck them niggas.
I'm actively participating in that.
I'm
shit.
on that, bro. Like, whoo, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait, nigga.
Yeah.
The T Grizzly gonna come on first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have on buffs and bitches gonna be made out of 24 karat gold. I ain't gonna be able to see out them bitches.
I like as a creator who's been able to see what a different type of paycheck looks like. I've definitely been imagining like different options for myself. Like, I'd love to get land and build a home in Ghana, or anywhere. If I just went to an African wedding, so I'm down to marry any African man. Not any.
that's your vibe. That's your beat right now.
Not
I seen you say that.
Not any.
I ain't have to marry an African.
Well, the
original
vibes
man
at the wedding were immaculate. And if anything, me and my Black American husband just have to agree to make everybody participate in the money spray. If we're gonna be
tight shit. We can get that done. We can get that done. That's easy. That's easy, bro. That's one little year to me. Like, jump the broom, throw that cash.
Correct. That's how I feel.
No, that's an easy call. I think we should. First of all, this thing.
Okay.
Black people, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Stop adhering to shit, nigga. Who said you had to wear white at the wedding?
Right.
Who said that? You have to understand. You understand that we are saying like that the reality that you live in was somebody's idea, right? So what's your idea?
Ooh.
And why aren't you enacting those ideas?
My God, today.
Because one thing about me, nigga, I got a lot of ideas. And when I want to see them things come to fruition, I'm going to make sure that shit happen. And it starts with knowing who your enemy is, nigga. And stop trying to canoodle. It's a good word.
With your enemy. I must retract my earlier statement. Any African man is crazy.
I know you've been over there fessing right? Like, nigga, I can't say any.
Let me try to
because the Nigerians, they really fuck with my pod. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, do they?
The Ghanaians, they all. I mean, I'm very diaspora for it, nigga. I
said that to say I'd be down to go anywhere on the continent that will have me, because the reality is there is still some contention about whether certain cultures, just their beliefs about Black Americans. Then you find out Northern Africans are still actively participating in slave trades and kidnapping dark-skinned people, no matter where they come from. And just being smart about where we go. Anyways, I know Ghana is asking Black people to come back.
So we're gonna focus on West Africa right now.
West Africa specifically. Ghana is making programs for people to come back. I think Burkina Faso is inviting people to come over. But also, we just did an episode on this as well. Like, you gotta have knowledge about what the policies are there, because some countries are still really regressive in their treatment towards women or women's rights, the treatments of queer folk and their rights. So it's one of those questions. If we leave here, how many places do we have to go? And do we have the resources? And Richie was talking about even like already having ideas about foreign relations and different currencies and stuff to make sure Black Americans are protected. So again, I think anything's possible. But me specifically, I'm set, and I'm trying to see what we can do with this right here.
Yeah, that's my feeling too.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: if you flee from an abuse of power without resistance, then wherever you land, you will recreate that abuse of power because that's the only way you've seen power used, i.e., Cubans.
And I think too, if you flee from the American abuse of power, you just leave room for America to continue to do and perpetuate it on other nations.
This is a issue that they're having in Mexico right now. So also, you know, when in Rome, bro, like you gotta really be mindful of the fact that like you're leaving America. And I think that people want to leave places and then it's like New Yorkers, like, you know what I'm saying? No shade to Big Cat. It's just like it's a stereotypical New York thing. It's like, yo, they ain't got pizza. Like, it's 3 a.m, son. What we gonna eat? Waffle House, nigga. Or go home.
Leave us alone.
So,
please.
but that on a macro scale is just trying to recreate American culture because that's what you're comfortable with.
Mhm.
Like, if you really hate the empire, don't recreate it.
Mhm.
And be open minded to like new ways and new ideals and new cultures and ways of living. But also, like for those who are here, don't be so willing to like be online and be of resistance online and then go big for Christmas.
All right, man. I like a little Christmas tree now. A little closer,
I'm talking about the
ornaments.
economic aspect of it.
okay.
Yeah, just don't ball out. Like, we're gonna talk about that next episode. Like,
Okay.
we can't just like, oh yeah, Target, like boycott Target, and you just gonna give them all their money back in the fourth quarter.
Oh, brother.
Because you and Auntie can't stand each other, so y'all want to buy more gifts than the other. Like, bro, tighten it up. Tighten it up.
Where have you been going besides Target? That's been like a little adventure for me.
I was never really a Target nigga anyway. I was always been a Walmart nigga. You know what I'm saying?
You still in there?
I'll be in there.
Okay. I was just asking. I was asking. Because the point of my question was just like, I mean, any store that is like a catch-all, like convenience, has everything in it, it just kind of makes you think where you have to go now. So I wanted a new sketchbook for me to write in. Usually we just go on the Target aisle and pick up a sketchbook. They got 1 or 2 in there. Now where I'm finding a sketchbook. Either I order it online and I don't really feel like waiting. So
well, Michael's is a good spot.
Michael's, I went to Blick Art Materials to find a sketchbook. Was it a little bit more expensive? Yes. Been going to Ulta to get like my self-care products. Like just trying to find, they don't make it easy, but it's definitely a adventure and a learning experience to figure out what your alternatives are in your community to go get the stuff that you need.
I think the biggest cost that people are going to have to pay for anything is inconvenience, the inconvenience cost. It's a hard one. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you are balling on a budget, bro, you go to that Dollar Tree, they got some shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Especially your toiletries and stuff. I'm a Dollar Tree baby. My mom used to take me to Dollar Tree. So I'm not a fan of the Dollar General because it'd be too many of them. But I am a Family Dollar. My daddy used to work at Family Dollar and shit. So
they're not the same?
Slick, but not really.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can see that yellow anywhere.
Okay.
You can go to the middle of nowhere. If it's a town of 200, it's gonna be a Dollar General in that motherfucker.
It's one down the street from my dad.
They a little too much over there, bro. Like it's too many of them, bro. I can't trust you, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Also, there's a debate and a dispute going on right now about how Cisco has monopolized the food industry, so that's why all the food tastes the same at restaurants.
See, I thought you was talking about Drew Hill.
No, but we can get into that.
I was like, Cisco? What does Cisco do?
I said, I like the way. That nigga said, I don't think you heard me. That nigga was mesmerized by a little garment of clothing, boy. That little garment had that nigga tripping. Hey, what's my shit? What's my shit, though? That Drew Hill song I be playing all the time. That ain't it.
Oh.
Man, what's the one, cuz? That's it. Yeah, you know, that's my shit. Man, they went crazy on that. Shout out to a Minnesota legend, man, Cisco, bro. You know what I'm saying? My nigga from the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Feel me?
Love that for him. What's Cisco?
What you got going on? Oh, we finna rap.
So. What I got going on?
Yeah.
Well, we rolling out the last few episodes of the People's Brief, so make sure you check out our final episodes. I'm the most proud of these episodes. Like every first season is a season where you just try shit, and I'm really grateful to have been able to try shit. But I'm having a lot more
fun. Schedule? What's the posting schedule for that?
We've been on hiatus. I had to. But we're in a great place right now. But so we're on hiatus. I don't know when we get back on air. I think I have this special with Stacey Abrams coming next week.
Shout out to Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, but after that, I get to play a lot more. I'm having a lot more fun in these last few episodes. So make sure you catch that. I also am releasing a mixtape. It was gonna be an album. Clearances became a headache, and the funding that I had, I really want to put towards this short film. So about to put together some fire visuals that we're gonna release over the holidays. You know, people don't usually. Everybody's quiet then, so I hope to take over your computer screens and your phone screens with my art, having a really good time.
Oh, you finna spit some bars?
Indeed, a little bit. Paquinto. That's not how you say that, but
No, that's fine though.
Do I have anything else going on? I feel like I always got something. But as far as putting stuff out, publishing stuff, I think that's it.
Would you ever write a book?
Maybe. I'm figuring out what it is. I'm averse to writing a book early in my career just to have something to put out. Granted, a little advance would be nice, but I don't like.
Man, we can get that money, man. Fuck that. We gotta get that money, man.
But I don't like to say shit
in advance, nigga, before we come holler at your whole little shit.
Who?
Burn all your books now. Oh, what you talking about?
Who'd you say give me advance?
You said advance, right?
Yeah. Who'd you say to give an advance?
You.
Oh, no. Who'd you tell to give me an advance?
Anybody who can do it.
Okay.
Great. We just threatening niggas en masse, you know what I'm saying? That's how we get down. You know?
Okay.
We use the sawed off around here.
Oh.
Ha! Everybody get hit. I might have just ruined your chances.
Damn. Those are not threats.
Well, you wanted me to put a specific name on it.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I was like, this is a little aggressive. So let me go behind and be like, he was just playing.
Nah, I'm just fucking around.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, you know, who knows what? I'm not doing too much looking into the future. I'm being present. I'm letting each day teach me something.
So do niggas have to be a vice president to be a guest on Parking Lot Pimping?
I don't do guests on Parking Lot Pimping. It got too hard because I do it by myself.
I know.
Right.
What I'm saying.
Right.
Are you open to having a guest on that?
Sure. It'll be the first time in a long time. Come through. We do it early in the morning on Friday, though. Okay. You got to come from Douglasville to the north side.
I got to do that anyway. Yeah, don't be just, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This has been episode 95 of Gris Ned's podcast with my guest, Lene.
Thank you.
You know the drill. Deontay at DeontayKyle.com for all your emails for booking and inquiries. Advice at DeontayKyle.com for the advice. NMM, that's New Music Monday, NMM for all your music submissions. New Music Monday, NMM at DeontayKyle.com. If you have any issues with your merch and shit like that, support at DeontayKyle.com. $8. Patreon. The Gris Ned's podcast. 657-234-X, 657-234-3447. Call us.
Not 281-330-8004.
That part.
Wow. What you niggas calling you for?
They be leaving voicemails and then we
that's
answer.
so cute.
Yeah, and then when we do our stream, that ain't nothing but $8. When we do the stream, we open it up and then they can call and talk to us directly.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's on Patreon, so it's very like quaint.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't a whole bunch of niggas in there, you know what I'm saying?
That.
Cool little 85, 95, 100, depending on how well we promote it.
That's still good.
It's great. We just having a good time in there.
Yeah.
Did you have something else that you want to plug?
You can just follow me everywhere at Lynaevanee, Lynaevanee. That's me.
Type shit. All right. Well, you know, we never know how to say goodbye, so bye.
Never the right time.
That's what I be giving up to. I'll be giving that one up too.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you next week, man. Big Cat, you want to come say something to the people? Yeah, man. Follow Big Cat, Big Ice Cup Cat on TikTok. He been on there doing his DJ shit. You know what I'm saying? We getting in preparation for Gris Ned's radio.
Period.
We'll see y'all next time.
Man, it's just rap.
I just wanna rap, you know. I just wanna rap, man. I just wanna rap.
Fate was on my side.
Yeah.
Was my fate was on
Hey,
my side.
man. Yeah. They say without the proper labor, faith don't stand a chance. I put my faith in faith and stand on fertile land. I planted seeds that'll indeed turn into trees. Be forest and peace teas get printed to me.